And I'm also going to be giving away another $50 to someone totally at random. So keep watching this whole video. We all strive to be more productive. It leads to so many beneficial things. Personally, I have always struggled with this. Throughout high school, throughout my job, I'd say my job, I have always struggled to stay productive. I always found myself getting bored and distracted really, really easily. I just always wanted to change things up. I could never focus on the task at hand. And I thought it was ADHD, but it wasn't. It just turns out that I just wasn't a very productive person. So since then, I've read a whole bunch of books to try and increase my productivity and just be better. And the book I'm currently reading is Limitless by Jim Quick. Now, this isn't an ad for this book, but I just thought I'd let you know because it's a brilliant book. But in this video, I want to go over 4 different areas that I have changed, and hopefully you could as well if you want to become more productive. But these 4 areas have helped me become way more productive. And the best thing is, none of them cost any money, and when implementing them, you see the results literally that day. The day of implementing, you see results. So I thought it was quite cool. And I'm also going to be giving away another $50 to someone totally at random. So keep watching this whole video so at some point you can find out how you can also potentially be in a chance to get this $50. So let's go over the 4 methods that I think have drastically changed my life. Number 1, preparing my desk workspace the night before to be dependent on what I'm doing that next day. What do I mean by this? So the night before, I will know what I'm doing the following day, whether it's shooting a podcast, shooting a YouTube video, doing some design work, responding to many emails, having a meeting, whatever it could be. I will know exactly what I'm doing, and I will cater my workspace so that it's perfectly ready for that following day. So, if the next day I know I'm doing a podcast, I'll have the whole podcast set up. If I know I'm going to be doing some design work, I'll have my little design area, focus area set up, my earphones there, ready to go, my iPad, the pencil, all of it ready to go, some pen, some paper. That way, when I go to do my work, there is no reason to get distracted setting things up and then getting even more distracted. It's all there ready to go. Now, this kind of only works if you have a permanent setup. Like if you're working out of like if you're hot desking, or you're constantly changing your environment or something, this is a lot more difficult. This works if you have like a home office or something like that. Now for me, because we are now on the road a lot, we're doing a lot of traveling, it's a lot harder to really do this one. So what I have done is I've adapted this method to suit my traveling, what I'm doing, right? And what I'm doing is I now have set bags for certain businesses. So for example, for YouTube videos, I have a little case with all my setup, my lights, the wires, the stand, the microphone, all of it in its little case. So I know that if I want to shoot a YouTube video, it's all in my little bag. It's down there, but it's all in my little bag. I can just open it up and set up, and I'm good to go. Likewise with other things, my designing stuff, my whatever it could be, right? My Amazon FBA stuff. Everything has its own little area, so I know I can just quickly go and get it and focus on it rather than have to find it and go through all my suitcases and try and find it. It's just there ready to go. So that's how I would adapt it for traveling. But if you're not traveling and you have a permanent workspace, then this is perfect for you, and it will save you a lot of time, and it will save you, the potential of getting distracted. Number 2 is writing down 8 tasks to do the following day, 5 of them being work related and 3 of them being personal related. Now, the reason why I separate them like this is because a lot of the time there's a lot of personal things we need to do, be it book a holiday, return some clothes that didn't fit, go and see your grandparents, go and whatever it may be, right? Go and hang out with friends, go out to eat, whatever it could be. If you don't plan for these personal things, sometimes they can become forgotten, right? And a lot of the time, I actually did a whole study. I didn't do a whole study. I researched this whole study on this idea that a lot of younger people can't find the time to do the menial task that they have to do, like returning clothes, and they end up just piling up things to do and never getting them done. So making sure you write down 3 personal things to do is just really important. Now, as well as that, the five work things, right? This is important if you work for yourself, because you need some direction. You need some sort of path to follow. Otherwise, you'll just end up finding that you're just not doing anything. So that's why I write down 5 work-related tasks. Now, a little tip here is write it down on a piece of paper or like a post-it note or something. Don't write it down on your phone. And there's a specific reason for this. If you write it down on a piece of paper, firstly, it can be on your desk at all times. You can see it, you can see exactly what you have to do, and you have that satisfaction of ticking things off. It does have psychological effects to physically go and tick something off or cross something off way more than it does on your phone to delete it or to have a little tick, right? Actually, physically writing a tick is a lot more motivating. Now, as well as that, having it on your phone opens up a world of potential distraction. For example, for me to open my phone right now, I need to go to notes, but I need to navigate past YouTube. I need to navigate past everything else, WhatsApp, emails, Spotify, the internet, Instagram, right? All to get to my notes. And all of those potential distractions could lead to 15, 20, 30, an hour of just doing nothing except scrolling down Instagram or something like that. So by having it on a piece of paper, you are just getting rid of that potential, right? Even if you've got a lot of self-control, you never know, right? And having it on a piece of paper is just the ultimate way to remove yourself from any distraction. Right, if any of these ideas have been helpful to you so far, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and help me get to 100,000 subscribers. I know it sounds crazy, but hopefully I'll be able to get there by the end of next year, who knows? Either way, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is always trying to have a clean desk. Now, I know I said in number 1, you want to have your desk fully prepared for the next day, but that doesn't mean it can't be clean. And I'm a true believer of having a messy desk is like having a messy mind. And if your desk is a massive tip, there's so many distractions and it's so hard to focus on one thing. Like, for example, my desk at the moment, I've got glass, AirPods, book, laptop, iPad. This is not clean, right? And it just makes it a lot harder to focus on one thing when there's something else there I can get distracted at. There's something there, there's something there, there's just things everywhere. So having a clean desk genuinely makes a massive, massive difference. And finally, number 4, having Do Not Disturb turned on my phone, on my iPad, and on my laptop. Do Not Disturb is basically a feature where any calls, texts, emails, anything, you won't get a notification. There'll be no noise, there'll be no buzzing, you won't know it's happened. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I need to make sure I get a call. If I get a call, my business is based around getting clients through calls or emails. And I understand that. And with Do Not Disturb, you can set certain parameters. So certain things are allowed through, like phone calls or emails, especially with the new iOS. But for me personally, I don't mind just putting my phone to the side, turning everything on Do Not Disturb, and allowing myself to fully concentrate. Because I'm actually reading something here in the Limitless book. I'm in the chapter all about flow. It's a really, really interesting concept, and I think I'm going to make a separate video on it, but it's about being in the flow state, which is the best state to be in when it comes to doing work. You just get the most done, you're the most productive, and it talks about distractions and how one little distraction, so if I'm editing a video and my phone buzzes and I look on Instagram, right? That one 10-second distraction can take my brain, or anyone's brain for that matter, there was actual psychological tests done, but it can take your brain 20 minutes to get back to the task on hand. So I don't mean, scrolling for 20 minutes. I mean, just looking for 10 seconds, and then to be able to refocus your mind on the work that you were doing can take 20 minutes, right? How crazy is that? I know for me, I used to have my phone right in front of me, my laptop here, and when I was doing work, and my phone would buzz, I would just look down, I'd respond, and I would go back to work. And I didn't realize that every single time I was doing that, I was diminishing the quality of the work I was able to do, the concentration I was able to put out because of that distraction. So having my phone on Do Not Disturb massively changed things, right? Now, if a friend calls or something, I'll call them back, right? If I get an email, I'll respond in a couple of hours. I'll set specific times throughout the day to respond to emails, to respond to texts, and this is kind of how I like to do it. The night before, my phone goes on Do Not Disturb. And that way I don't get any distractions and I get a really, really nice, peaceful sleep. In the morning, I'll take my phone off Do Not Disturb for about an hour, respond to messages, respond to emails, have a look at social media, all that kind of stuff. And then after about an hour, when I sit down to fully start working, my phone goes back on Do Not Disturb. It takes me about 20 minutes to fully get in the zone, I should say. And that's it till about lunchtime, where my phone can come back. I can start using it again. And then after lunch, I go back to work and my phone being on Do Not Disturb. Now, I personally think this has been one of the biggest helps out of all of these things, so definitely give it a go. And I think with Android there is also a form of Do Not Disturb. I just don't know it because I don't have an Android, but I know with iPhone it's called Do Not Disturb. And those are the 4 methods. Now I have to say I've introduced a lot more than 4 methods. I've introduced so many different things, and as well as that, I'm constantly adding and removing things to see what works and what doesn't work specifically with me. So I will make more videos on how to become more productive, because I genuinely think being productive can drastically change your life. And I know for me, someone who got distracted at a moment's notice with anything, I would literally try and find distractions so I didn't have to work. The fact that I'm now able to literally sit and focus for 4-5 hours straight on a piece of work, I mean, it's a massive, massive life changer. Now, let me know in the comments one thing that you do or you want to do to be more productive. And at random, I'm going to pick one of those ideas. It has to be an idea. It can't just be like a hi, right? I'm going to pick one of those ideas at random and I'm going to send you $50. And I thought this would be cool for a few reasons. One, someone going through and reading the comments will see all these different ways and concepts and ideas on how to be more productive. And two, I'm going to be able to look through all the comments. I want to try out all the different ideas that you're commenting and see if it can drastically improve my productivity level even more. I'll end up picking someone at random, tomorrow or the next day, and I'll make a little post about it, and then I'll send you the $50. It's really simple. But of course, that comment does have to have something to do with productivity. It has to be an idea based around productivity. Anyways, if you did like this video, I would highly recommend checking out this video. This is a day in the life video of a productive day in the life video from a while ago. So in this video, it was before I took on a lot of these concepts. So you'll be able to kind of see how productive I was there and what I was doing there and these new things that I'm trying now. And maybe, I can do another day in the life video of with all these different productivity things that I'm now doing.